Okay, looks like we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Reseller Six Pack. Tonight, we're going to talk about time management and finding balance kind of between just work, family, eBay, being a YouTube content creator, and stuff like that. Tonight, we got a special guest on our channel. It's Shane from Rise and Grind Picks. So everybody, welcome Shane to the channel tonight.
Hey, Shane.
I put a link to Shane's channel in the description. Kind of where everybody else's links are and stuff like that. Kind of have a special guest Shane. So go check Shane's channel out, hit subscribe. He's got a lot of great content there and what have you. So anyway, guys, I guess before we jump into it, what have you, what's everybody drinking? Tonya, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking Sutter Home Pink Moscato.
Ooh, fancy.
I didn't realize they made wine in that small a bottle.
Is that a twist off? Is that a twist off?
It's freaking cute, yeah.
That's like a 4-ounce bottle of wine.
Awesome. Shane, how about you? How's your week going?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm drinking a Goose Island Green Line. It's pretty good.
Goose Green Line. Nice. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Been slacking on some sales a little bit, but I haven't been listening, so that's one thing.
Awesome. Lonnie, how about you, bud? How you doing tonight?
Hey, Andy. Glad you could finally host, man. I've been looking forward to this. We've come to a virgin channel and trash the place a little bit. No, I finally got some Purple Haze. I haven't drank this in a long time.
Yay.
Nice. You got away from the Andy Gator tonight, huh?
Yeah, but this is still a beta. I'm staying with the same
Right.
company. Same. Do y'all have that there, man? Do y'all have Purple Haze over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we can get that in Illinois. Yep. And Mr. Dwayne, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing well. I'm Dwayne Hale, Mothership Products. I am drinking Hoodoo Golden Ale tonight from the Uinta Brewing Company,
Oh, nice.
as well as Cutthroat Pale Ale. Beers tonight I'm playing with. So.
Because everybody else has one drink, you got to come with two.
Well, hey,
hey, guys, you know what?
You never know.
Hey, I got two as well.
See, you never know. Yeah, see?
I've got one and wine.
Yeah, look at Shane's got a whole 6-pack sitting down there. I mean, see, look at that. Literally.
All right, so what do you got,
So-
John?
I'm getting ready to crack open another one, actually. Just plain old Miller Lite, because that's what's in the fridge.
That's what's in the
Is
fridge.
your
Awesome.
father? Is it your father or father-in-law?
Stepdad.
I like the truckload because it seems like you've
Pretty
been
much,
drinking that
yeah.
forever.
Yeah, he does. And that neon, I don't know if you guys saw my video, but I found a neon Miller Lite sign. I mean, it's huge.
Oh yeah.
I'll pull up a
So that
picture
was
really
awesome.
quick. And he showed a lot of interest in it, so I just went ahead and gave it to him.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool, dude.
Yeah, it's
And a
huge.
tough one to ship anyway. I mean, if anybody did
yeah.
buy it or
I
even
would have sold it local if
have
anything.
people pick it up, it would have been rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was doing whenever I find signs like that. Is you got to flip them locally because they're too dangerous to ship.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. All right, so I guess we'll jump into it. So anyway, like I said, what got me thinking about this is, man, I work a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? Most of you guys that follow me and see my channel, I work a full-time job. I work 40 hours a week. I work Tuesday through Friday most of the time. And we've got a pretty diverse panel here and stuff like that tonight. Some of you guys own your own businesses. Some of you guys, work only from home. Some of you are like myself, work, full-time. Man, I was just trying to figure out how everybody tries to find the time to find balance and get everything all just crammed in to help grow your business and balance just your family time and all that. John, how about you? You're probably, in my opinion, probably one of the busiest guys of us all. Trying to run a business. You got a newborn. You're trying to do your your online auction stuff. Plus, you're doing eBay, all the sourcing you do. How do you do it? What are you doing to maximize your efficiency and you know, just be a better reseller and stuff like that in general?
I'm a big believer in lists. So every day I get to the warehouse, I spend 5-10 minutes, and I'll just do a lap around the warehouse, and I'll make a list of everything I need to do that day. I'll kind of prioritize what has to be done first, and I'll just, you know, get tunnel vision and just knock everything out. And then maybe when I get 5 minutes when I'm eating lunch or something, I'll, you know, watch a YouTube video or something like that. But I try to really make sure I get everything done in a day. That way, at the end of the day, I'm like, I know I got everything done because I made my list and I don't have to worry about it.
One of the things I noticed about John is he also has not only things that he's listed, but he has things like, I don't remember what night it is. If it's Wednesday night is, you know, trivia night. That's what he does with his family. I mean, and he's very scheduled. It seems like, you know, he doesn't wander around much. It's like, okay, Wednesday night is trivia night, and you know, I work from 9 to 5 or 7 to 3 or whatever. It just seems you're very, you know, schedule oriented.
I am, yeah, especially with like the auction business. Certain days I have to do certain things. So like tomorrow, I've got to send out the invoices. I've got to put up the new auction. Mondays are really, really busy because we're transitioning from one auction to another. And then Tuesdays and Wednesdays, you know, we're doing pickups and previews and drop-offs. Thursday to Saturday is a little bit more lax, just sourcing and finding stuff. But yeah, everything's pretty regimented and scheduled out.
Awesome. How about you, Lonnie? I mean, you're kind of a work from home guy, but man, you know, you spend a lot of time making videos. Plus, I know you have a whole nother YouTube channel that you do things on, and you know, plus you got a couple girls that they, you know, that you run around and everything else. Yeah, I mean, you know, what do you do to take and, you know, just be as efficient as you can and still, you know, find time to list and do all that?
Well, I gotta tell you, man, I'm really not that efficient. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys that I'm efficient when I'm not. You know, because I'm not. I'm goofing off on Facebook and YouTube every day, not all day, but a pretty good bit. You know, so, but the thing that I find important is on the weekends, like on Saturday, I'm gonna source Saturday morning. So for me, it's important to get Candace involved, to get my kids, if they want to, involved with that. You know, so Candace will go with me and we'll make a day of it. We keep it fun. And then the deal is at the end of that, we pretty much go eat lunch wherever she wants to eat lunch and I'm buying. You know what I mean? Cool. So it kind of incorporate the business into the family, you know, and the family into the business. I think that's important. If they didn't support what I'm doing, I wouldn't be able to do it. You know,
that's great advice, Lonnie. Yeah, I feel the same goes for like YouTube videos too. Incorporate the family as much as you can.
And now, as far as YouTube goes, that's kind of the X factor, right? Like, of all the things I do, I think YouTube is the one I actually enjoy the most, business wise, right? But it also doesn't bring in much money. Very little. It's pretty minimal. So if I have to cut something out, that's the first thing. You know, sometimes I may not make a video or whatever, but yeah, I mean, you have to prioritize. YouTube is the bottom of the list, even though it's one of my favorite things to do. You know, which kind of sucks, but you understand that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I love doing the videos and doing live, you know, shows and stuff. It's just, I have such a hard time finding time to squeeze that in. And so it's like, usually it's like, I never have a show scheduled. It's always just like something impromptu. It's like, I come home, it's like, you know what, I got a couple minutes. I go, I think I'm just going to go live. And then the next thing I know, you know, I'm planning on doing something for, you know, 15 minutes. And it's like, oh shit, it's been, you know, it's been almost, you know, an hour and a half. And I was like, crap, I go, now I'm not going to get done what I wanted to get done. And, you know, so I'm saying is, you know, it's like, time just gets away from you, you know, sometimes. And I always try to be pretty focused and, you know, just, I want to say I schedule a lot of things, but yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like John, like I'll make a to-do list. Like this is what I want to kind of get done today. And I know some people do kind of like make mental lists. You know, I'm someone who a lot of times I'll write stuff down. I mean, you know, is that something you guys do? You guys just make a mental list or you just write stuff down? I mean, how do you guys do that?
I know I have to write things down. My mental list, if I was to keep it all mental, it's about 2, and that's all I can ever remember is what's right in front of me. If I don't write it down, it probably won't get done. Let's hear. I have to write things down. You know, I have a notepad that I can try and keep all the things that I need to get done written down. I also have a full-time job, so mine's you know, I can watch YouTube stuff on doing other things, so that's okay for me. You know, I don't have to try and fit that in. I can kind of listen while I do things, but when I come home, it's all about, you know, I got my family too. My wife can't boil water, so
Whoa,
man.
She will be the first to tell you that. So I mean, she'll be the first. She doesn't call what she does eating. So, but anyway, so when I do cook, if it's not a fend for yourself night, then you know, that gets taken up time too. So I just fit things in when I can, and that's
awesome.
You were talking about a list. Oh, I don't mean to interrupt, man. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Go ahead, John.
I'm the same way. I write it down, and Tina Scott has a good comment. She says she likes the satisfaction of checking off a list. I think there's something very psychological with if you write down your list and you finish everything at the end of the day, it's kind of like you're giving yourself a little bit of a pat on the back, and it's kind of like an ego boost. And you really feel like you accomplished something that day. And if you just continually keep doing that, like, you're going to be more successful, I think.
John, do you ever high five yourself? Good job, son.
I'll pump myself up sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I got that done. You know what I mean?
Oh,
but no, I don't high five myself or anything.
I mean, do you ever just take and like reward yourself, or because maybe you made a list of 5 things and you've got all of them done? I mean, do you ever actually just take and just reward yourself? It's like, man, today was a good day. I got a lot done. I got a lot accomplished. I'm going to do something for myself.
YouTube is usually that, you know, carrot at the end of the stick. If I get my stuff done, then I make a YouTube video. If I don't mess with it.
Gotcha. Yeah, as I notice, a lot of your videos are usually real short and sweet, which is great, because a lot of times you don't have a lot of time. And like, I'll find myself, and I know I shouldn't do this, but I think there's a couple other people on this panel that are probably as guilty as I am. But occasionally, like, I'll watch YouTube in the car. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have my phone mounted to my little dash clip, you know, and like when I'm going to work or I'm running somewhere, I'll just kind of have, I mean, I may not be watching it, you know what I'm saying, but at least, you know, just the audio is playing, you know, in the background. And I think there's been a couple of times I've been talking to someone here on the panel, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm driving." I was like, "How are you watching?" They're like, "Oh, I'm just driving. I'm watching this at the same time."
Yeah, I do it too.
See, it's like the whole panel's all guilty of this. But yeah, but it's just one of those things. It's like going, it's like, okay, I don't have time to sit and watch all these videos, but I love a lot of these creators, you know, like all yourselves, and you know, I don't want to miss anything, because you know, I'm always afraid I'm going to miss that one little nugget. You know what I'm saying? That somebody drops. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh yeah, that was great. You know, I mean, I should, you know, I wish I would have picked up on that.
I feel guilty all the time because I can't watch everybody's stuff. You know, even the ones I really want to watch, I just can't. But I think all of us understand that, because we all have time pressures and constraints on us, and we all have a lot of friends on YouTube that, you know, we want to follow. There's just not enough time in the day. You know, kind of sucks.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Shane, we'll come to you. I'm going to ask you kind of the same question. Yeah, is there anything that you do yourself, you know, to kind of just help stay, you know, to, I guess, help maximize your time? I know you work a full-time job as well. You're building your YouTube channel, trying to build that subscriber base and stuff like that. I've noticed you've been pretty active on almost everybody on here's channels and stuff like that. So I do know you spend quite a bit of time on YouTube. Yeah, how do you balance things out and what have you? And you got any tips or tricks, you know, that you do to help maximize any of that?
So it's not an easy task. For me, it's about routines. And probably, I'm not a list person, because if I wrote a list down, I'd lose it in 10 minutes and I wouldn't remember where I put it. So that's just me. But for me, I'm a huge like routines person. So I kind of take all the routines in my day and I just kind of make them over and over and over until I kind of know exactly what I'm doing. So like when I sit down and list, I will list, and I know exactly how to do it. So like I'll take my pictures first. I'll go back and I'll take mannequin pictures. Then I'll build my listing, and then I'll launch it after it's just a bare bones listing. But also like for work, I mean, I work like 40 to sometimes 50 hours a week for my full-time job. So when I get home, sometimes I'm listing until 1 in the morning, and I'm getting back up at 5:30 again. But I like to put myself on a timer sometimes. That helps. Like if I know, like, hey, my wife, like if she wants to go out and do something with the kids, I know, well, I got 2 hours to list, and I'll set a timer for 2 hours. And
I do that too. I will literally set the timer on the microwave and like say, okay, for 20 minutes, I'm just going to focus on cleaning up this room or listing or whatever it is.
Man, it's like you guys like read my mind. It was like I literally wrote down like a bunch of questions I wanted to ask, and you guys are like hitting all of them like right now. Because that was like my next question I was going to ask is, do you guys set time limits? On things do you set time limits for for listing, for your YouTube content creating, for just how much time do you set aside for family? Like John does his trivia thing and what have you, and Lonnie likes to take his his daughter garage sailing, and and she's been in a couple videos with you and stuff like that too, which is really cool. And just how much time do you set aside for just social media? I mean the your time, sort of thing. And I know social media can be a time suck, but but yeah, I mean that's something I definitely would like to know about too.
And for me, like YouTube, just like pretty much all the rest of you comes last. I just got a GoPro like a few days ago, so I'm going to be filming like thrift store content, but it's hard to find that time to film it because when I go into thrift stores, it's all about business. It's all about, hey, I'm going to look at these, research them while I'm at the thrift store, and then try to get out as quick as possible. When I first started this, like I said, 3 hours in a thrift store and not even know 2 days passed by. I could spend 2 days in a thrift store and not even know anything passed by.
You must have some really good thrift stores. Mine, I can't spend 20 minutes in, and I've already seen everything.
Some of them are pretty good. Sometimes I'll go in a thrift store and not buy anything, but other times I'll go in a thrift store and buy 10 or 15, 20 shirts. I mean, and some of them are pretty big, and they're just getting ready to build another one. It's called Salt and Light. It's going to be the size of almost a full grocery store.
Whoa!
Like the size of almost like a full blown like IGA or like a county market if you have county markets in your area or something like that.
And that's a thrift store down by you?
That's a thrift store. They have a little location, which I always find good stuff, but they're building a brand new one in an old county market grocery store, and it's going to be probably the size of a small Walmart.
Wow.
That's going to be right there in Bloomington, Normal area? No,
it's actually going to be in Champaign.
Oh shit, that's farther down.
Yeah, it's a little farther down.
I was like, man, that's in Bloomington, man. That's only like a couple hours for me. I was like, I could definitely make that trip, and man, we could go down there and have a good time, man. That'd be awesome. But yeah, right. Champagne's I think that's about 4 hours for me, so that's a little farther than I'm wanting to travel.
You could always just meet me halfway, and then I'll drive the rest.
Oh, hey, there you go. Awesome. Yeah.
So real quick, guys, I got to interrupt. Andy is sitting on 982 subscribers. All right, guys. So if you're not subscribed to the Parrothead Picker, subscribe to him now. Let's get him over 1,000 subscribers tonight. He is almost there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'll tell you what. Yeah, if we get over 1,000 subscribers tonight, yeah, I'll do some sort of giveaway. I'll come up with something here, and I'll do a live show or something like that. We'll have some sort of giveaway. Everyone's eligible, but Lonnie. Lonnie seems to win everybody's contest, so Lonnie is exempt. So.
Oh, are you jealous of my mug that I won here? I'm a Playboy, by the way.
This is pretty awesome.
This came from Shane's 100 sub giveaway. One of only many items in the box. So.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you, Shane. Appreciate it, buddy.
That's a pretty pimpin' mug, Lonnie.
It's good, man. It's the right size for one beer. Andy, what were you going to say, dude? I'm sorry.
You lost me. I got all excited. But yeah, I got all excited by that play. That's from about the 70s, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's late 70s, early 80s, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Yeah. God, what else was I going to ask about here? What about distractions? I mean, do you guys are there things that, how do you guys go about, avoiding distractions and stuff like that? Like I said, like with spending too much time on Facebook or, I know like my wife, one of her big ones is she loves playing. It's like one of them, I don't know if it's like Bubble Witch or one of them, Candy Crush, one of them stupid games. She plays them things all the time. Every time I look, it was like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm just playing a game. I'm gaming. I'm like, is there just little things like that, that you guys get distracted by that keeps you from, staying on track and stuff like that? And then, kind of what do you do to get back on track, I guess?
That is my whole life. It's those distractions. Just trying to stay focused on, what I need to get done and everything. I mean, I don't even know if there's any right, but yeah, the distractions are what, what makes life difficult. I mean, if you had every minute scheduled out and everything, first of all, it'd be pretty boring, but you'd get a lot done. But
right.
yeah, I can't do that. There's just too many distractions. I try and, just for a short time, or, I mean, I have games that I play on my phone and stuff, or if I need something to not think about another thing. Let's say I'm doing, listing and I'm like, okay, I got to take a break. I'll go do something that is completely mind numbing, phone game or something for a minute, just so that I can kind of refresh.
Right. So, yeah. How about you, Lonnie? I mean, what do you do to avoid distractions? Because I think you get distracted pretty easy, don't you?
Yeah, why do you say that?
I'm thinking out of the whole panel, you probably get distracted the most out of this whole group. Just from.
Why do you have this idea? Because it's right, it's true.
The clues are just there, man.
Whenever I'm really getting distracted and I have a lot of shit to do, sometimes I just have to tell people, hey guys, I'm going dark. I got shit to do, and then you just turn it off and work. I also find that, like, for chat, because I have people I chat with during the day, a lot of times I find that voice chat is a lot easier because you don't have to look at it. You don't have to stop what you're doing. I'm walking, I'm driving, whatever. I'm talking into the thing. Facebook Messenger is pretty cool for that. I use voice chat all the time. It doesn't slow me down, but mostly going dark at certain times of day when you really have to get stuff done. But I'm horrible at it. So
I do the same thing, Lonnie, with the Facebook chats, like group chats and all that. I'll like hit the notifications and I'll turn it off for like 8 hours or something, or 2 hours. Like, all right, I got to work. I can't have this be distracting me, or leave my phone in the other room or something while I'm working.
That's what I do. I'll leave my phone. I'll put it upstairs while I'm working downstairs, and my wife will come down and say, your 6-pack guys are sitting there. Ding, 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 ding. Because I get the notifications. So, but yeah, I'll leave my phone somewhere else.
Yeah, you're not alone on that, Dwayne. Yeah, because I go to bed early because I'm up at like 3 a.m. usually during the week, and so I have to have my phone on. And yeah, I never shut the notifications off, and so I'll go to bed. My wife she'll come in, she'll be like, "Your damn phone was blowing up all night long," and I'll look at it here. I got like 99 messages in my in my group chat, and I'm like, God, I go, what the heck do these guys do all night long? It's like going, I don't know how they find all this time, but it's like yeah, they're not getting up, like I said, like I do, and I do. I go to bed early, but when I got the weekends and what have you, then I could kind of sometimes play catch up on the group chats and what have you. But
it's not worth it.
And I totally turn off the notifications. Like, I don't even get Facebook notifications. For me, I would be distracted all day long if I had that turned on. And like whenever I'm listing, I will totally shut down Facebook completely because I am really easily distracted by messages and those other notifications you get while you're actually on Facebook.
Shiny things, shiny animals.
Yes.
Butterfly.
I'm with you, Andy. I go to bed early, man. Like I'm in bed usually by 10 o'clock every night, and then I wake up and there's 10,000 notifications on my phone from all you night owls.
Yeah, I usually hit the pillow about somewhere between 7 and 8 o'clock. So, but like I said, I'm up at 3 a.m. So
yeah,
Well,
3 o'clock.
I could tell you if I send John a message at like 10:30 my time, it ain't getting answered. But that night, and he'll answer me, and it'll be like 4 in the morning. I do not know what time this dude gets up.
I know. I do the same thing. It's like I was thinking last night, and it's like you look at it. It's like, damn, it's 5 in the morning. What the hell is he thinking?
yeah, because you guys are different time zones too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 hour apart.
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference. That's awesome. All right. Yeah. How about you, Shane? I mean, what do you do to keep from getting distracted? I mean, I'm sure you got a lot of things going on. I don't know. Do you have kids?
Yeah, too. And a lot of times I'll be listening and I'll hear a knock on the door. Knock, knock. Because I have an eBay room downstairs in my basement. So basically I do everything down here. And I'll hear knocks on the door. I get distracted all the time. I'll get a YouTube notification of, oh, hey, someone just posted a new video, and I'll watch it for 20 minutes and not even realize it. So kind of like what Lonnie said, you just kind of have to go dark sometimes, like turn your phone off or leave it in another room. The bad thing is I take pictures from my phone, so I have to have it.
Yeah, that's what I do. And it was like this weekend, I posted a bunch of stuff on OfferUp and Let Go, and I was taking a bunch of photos down here, and I do it all on my phone. And yeah, I didn't want to turn my notifications off and stuff like that because my phone was blowing up the whole time I'm sitting down here. And so every time I'd make a noise, I'd have to stop, and I'm answering the silly questions or dealing with the low ballers and stuff like that. Because God, OfferUp and Let Go is notorious for the low ballers. They're absolutely horrible on there. But I still don't want to miss a sale either.
I got to tell you, that's one thing I did do that saved me a lot of time. Is I turned best offer off on 90% of my listings, unless they're maybe a higher value listing, maybe $70, $80 and higher. I'll still do it on, but lower than that, pay my price or wait for it to go on sale. That's it. Because otherwise you're getting blown up all day. People trying to cut you in half and stuff like that. It's not worth the time.
Yeah.
What I do is I'll put the best offer option on there, but what I'll do is I'll set a limit, that deny anything less than this, and then I figure, okay, if I get something that's right around that limit, then I can decide at the time. But if I'm selling something for $30, I'll say, tell eBay, okay, get rid of anything that's less than 25. And then when I do get one that's like, or whatever, 26, I'll look and it'll say, yeah, that this guy has tried 3 other times to, he's put in 3 other offers to get above that threshold. And it's really simple for me because I write it when I'm listing. It's not that difficult to throw that in there, and it has saved me a ton.
Well, I was just sitting there reading in the chat. Got junk in the trunk? She said she's actually got a do not disturb sign for her eBay room, and her kids and grandkids are not even allowed to bother her if she's in her eBay room or if they're in their eBay room working. Wow. I go, that's awesome. But she said it does work. I go, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that is awesome.
If I put a do not disturb sign up, my kids would rip it down and throw it away, and probably
right, mine too.
That's funny. Yeah, I have best. I don't have best offer on any of my my hard goods, but I do have best offer on a lot of my clothes. But it's usually I will only put it on clothing that I've had for probably more than 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
But it's usually a lot of my clothes are all priced a little on the higher side anyway. So, I'm okay with taking a best offer on stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, if somebody gives me something absolutely ridiculous, I don't even respond to it.
I didn't mean to open up that.
Oh, no. It's it's just best offer is one of those topics that, we all deal with it, especially if you're using it. So
I think it really depends.
Well, and it can be a time suck too. I mean, it can be a serious time suck if you don't, manage it correctly.
Exactly.
And I'm kind of glad Lonnie brought that up because about a month ago, I did the same thing to my eBay and I took all the best offers off. after I had 2 auctions with almost the same identical thing, or not auctions, but 2 listings, and the same person was sending me 6 best offers in 50-cent increments every single day for like a week.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah.
I took it off.
Yeah, that would drive me nuts. Usually, I always put my response. This is the best that after like the second one, I will usually always put this is the best that I can do at this time. That's just usually that's and I'll usually put best in capital letters, and and I usually kind of always word it, I hope this helps you out, but this is the best that we can do at this time. That's usually just how I leave it. And usually I don't think I usually ever get any more than 3 offers on something. I mean, it's just like I said, once that second one comes, that's usually it. And I usually on most stuff, I usually price stuff like, we'll just say like if I price something at $25, I'm willing to take 20 for it. You know what I'm saying? So as long as they're in that window, that's fine. If they're under that, I always just still, hey, this is, I might drop it in half, then I'll come down, to that $5 mark for the second time. We'll just say, like I'll go $22.50, and then I'm like, okay, I'll do $20. This is the best that I can do at this time. And usually then that's usually where they're at. So
Tonya, you got something to say?
Yeah, what's going on, Tonya?
I've had all kinds of things to say for the past 35 minutes, but I can't get a word in edgewise.
We'll get in there, Tonya.
I keep losing my talking points. Changing subjects too fast.
Okay, drop your knowledge on us, Tonya. The floor is yours.
Okay, well, regarding best offer, I was just going to say that I don't always add it right away. Like I might wait a month or 2 before I add it. Just because if I list something at a certain price, I really feel like it's worth it and I can get that price. But, if it sits there forever, of course, I'm going to add a best offer. Yeah. And so I set the timer too, just like Shane, a lot of times when I have a lot to get done and I want to manage and balance my time a little bit better. 30 minutes for this, 30 minutes for that. And what else? Being a stay-at-home mom, my time management looks a little bit different because, I'm responsible for the kids and all their after-school activities and cooking dinner. So usually I try and get, the bulk of my stuff done in the morning after they've left for school. And then, once they start getting home from school around 2:30 or so, then I try and focus a little bit more on them and less on the other stuff,
Well, and I've often said that Tonya, to me, she juggles so many damn things. I don't even understand how. I mean, because seriously, she's got like 12 different sourcing options and 14 different ways to sell things and kids, and I don't even know. I mean, you can't just stop. I mean, you got to start when you wake up and not even stop moving until you go to sleep. I swear.
And I live by my list too, just like John said. And I do it the old-fashioned way. I just write it down on paper. Usually at night when I'm getting ready for bed, I'll make my list the night before. And I always sleep better if I've made a list. Right?
Yeah, that's a big thing. A lot of people, like motivational speakers and people that'll life coaches or whatever, very successful business people will tell you to make a list before you go to bed. That way you're not really dwelling on what you have to do tomorrow. You've already got it done. Me personally, I'm already completely freaking exhausted, so I'll just pass out no problem. But that is a very good way to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
So when y'all say y'all have these lists, because I make lists too, but my lists are like real short. Like for a show, I might make a list, or for a certain project, or if I want to list certain things, I'll make a list of those. But like bigger picture, I don't really make lists. Do y'all make lists of like, we've already had this show, but Tonya and John, do y'all make lists of like goals, like longer term things of where you want to be?
Absolutely.
In a year?
Yep. I usually don't do a year out. I do like shorter term, like a month, 3 months. And they say the best way to do it is to write it as if you've already completed it and that you've reached it. Mm-hmm. So for instance, we're trying to get the business to a point where, our average item price is higher. So I think it was like 2 months ago, I wrote it out and said, we are now selling items at $15 an item. And we were at like $9 at the time, and now we're at like $11.50. So I'm tracking it each month where we're at. We were at like 10 and now we're at $11.50, and just continually trying to do that. And
right. And that's like the law of attraction, right? You
Exactly.
have to see it as already done, being done and completed.
Yep. And then you start acting to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm already buying stuff for the beach house that we're going to own here soon. And it's like, what's all this crap in the house?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. That's the way to do it.
So let me read Jim's Jams and Junk's comment here. Tonya, when speaking with Kurt at the reseller rally, he was very supportive of you and your work. I think that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, he really is. And he's super understanding of all of my clutter and my death piles. I mean, don't get me wrong. He gets on to me a lot to handle that stuff. But overall, I mean, I couldn't ask for a better guy. I mean, I really couldn't. He's just really supportive.
When we had him on that show that we did, that I did with, he was very. It seemed like he was very supportive and but I try and help out when I can. I talk to my customers at where I work, and I mean it does make it a lot easier. Since I do my auction show on Saturday. Well, Heather's been starting to help me. Keep track of what people bid and stuff, and it's really helped. It really has.
Yeah, that's nice.
It is, because it moves faster, because you used to have whoever was selling the stuff write it down, and that would slow things down. Now they're now they're getting their next item up. So
it's.
I think having your spouse involved and supportive is key. I'm really lucky. I'm looking at Whitney right now. I don't know if she's paying attention or not, but she's awesome, and she's always she knows that I have to garage sale on Saturday morning, so she's always willing to take care of Darcy and do things around the house while I'm having to work, and she understands it, and I'm just really lucky, honestly, to have her and have her be so supportive of it. But yeah, if you don't have a spouse that's supportive of it, then it really will hurt your business.
For sure.
Yeah, because then you would feel guilty about doing the things that are going to make you money, and that would suck.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because they definitely like that extra money for sure.
Yeah, my spouse is supportive of it, but she just doesn't like to be involved in the business. So I indirectly involve her. I'm like, hey, I got some packages. I need shipped out. Can you just take those to the post office real quick? And then it becomes like an everyday thing.
Golly, dude.
You sneak it up on her is what you're saying.
Right, exactly.
Man, I wish I could get mine to take my packages every day. That would be great.
I scheduled the post office pickups, and it was the greatest thing I ever did. I got to give a shout out to Lonnie for showing me how to do that, because it's just saved me so much time. I don't do it every day, just because I don't always pack my eBay stuff the same day, but I do it on Tuesdays, Wednesdays when I know I can't leave the warehouse to get to the post office, and it helps.
Dude, whenever I schedule mine, I do it twice a year. I just drag that friggin' thing, and I cover the whole calendar. You could do I think you could do it a year out. And I just schedule all the days, and then I put 2 first class and 2 priority, and they don't care if I have 20 packages or 2 packages. It doesn't matter. They're going to pick them up anyway. And then I don't have to touch it for 6 months, but I have packages going out every day for sure.
Where do you put them? By your front door?
Under the carport. So we live on, there's only 5 houses on a gravel road here, and it's a pretty big yard, about 1.5 acres. So there's no security issues, at all. My stuff will never get stolen by setting it out under the carport.
Yeah, you guys don't have paved roads down in Louisiana yet, do you?
Dude,
you open that can of worms right there, buddy.
The highway is paved. Just our little road, it's maybe 1/10 of a mile is gravel. Okay, so and that's by choice. They could have put another house on the road, but then it would have been made public, and then we would have had to pay to all pitch in to pay to pave it or something. So I don't know. Whatever. Shut up.
Hey, your mug cheating on me tonight, so I'm obviously gonna have to give you.
I know, right? That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, hey, Lonnie gets all these mugs. I wonder what's going on with his other mug, the Garage Flips mug.
It's okay. It's not broken or anything like that.
That's funny.
It's just a one-night thing, John.
One night stand with a Playboy bunny. Who would pass that up?
It didn't mean anything, John. It didn't mean anything.
That's hilarious.
I don't believe it.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's something I need to check into is the scheduling some pickups. And the guy that comes to my house, he's great. I always just, a lot of times I'll just set stuff out there, but because I find myself, I'm at the post office twice a day. I always, anything that'll go in the blue box, I drop off in the morning on my way to work because it's basically right on my way. So I'll chuck all that stuff in the box. And then any of my boxes that I have, I'll just, whatever I sold while I was at work, I'll come home, quick pack those up, and then I'll grab, I already have my boxes or whatever, and I just take them right to the post office. Now, do you guys all do one day handling time, or what's your guys' turnaround time? You're one.
Yeah, I do one day too.
You guys are all one day. Yeah, that's what.
Not me. I'm 2 days.
You're 2 days. Yeah,
I want that little badge. It depends on if I slip on my metrics for a little while and I'm not like top rated seller, which happens from time to time. I'll fall off and then I'll have to, like, I'll cancel an order or something like that and it'll mess me up. And I'll just go down to what's the one below top rated?
Hell, I don't know.
I think it's above. Is it like above standard or something like that?
Yeah. Every now and then. Yeah. Every now and then I'll fall, down to that one. And then during that time, I drop my standard back down to 2 days because it doesn't matter anyway. Because I'm not going to get that bump since I'm not top rated. But
Gotcha.
Well, and I don't typically have as many sales as you guys. If I have 2 or 3 sales a day, that's pretty good for me. So I can usually I get up a little early, and when I go to work, they have a mail drop there, so I'll just drop it there. I'm with the 1 day. I started getting 20 or 30 packages a day, or 5 or 10. I might have to change that.
Right.
Are you reading?
I'm reading Barry's comment.
Yeah.
Barry says, my apartments are so shady. If I leave even a little pair of wet socks out to dry, they will get stolen.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Wow. Yeah, where did John go? He needs to get a cooler by him. Trek to the garage every time he needs a beer.
Yeah, Miller Lite's running through him, I think.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Well, with me, my post office is only like a block away from my house. I live in a super small town, like in between Bloomington and Champaign. So literally, it's just right down the road. So it's super nice.
What state are you in, Shane?
Illinois. Same as.
Okay.
Yeah, Shane's only about 2 hours from me.
Were you at the reseller rally?
Yeah, I was at the reseller rally.
He talked to you for like 10 minutes, Tonya. You don't remember any of that?
Shut up. No, he did not. I wouldn't remember that.
He was in our group, I think, for a little while, talking to all of us.
I'll be right back. I made it
for a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, I now feel really bad.
No, don't feel bad. It's all right.
I feel bad I didn't get to talk to Shane longer. I didn't really meet Shane until like the night of the last thing, like late Saturday night when I was getting ready to leave, and I just saw he was talking to somebody and we started talking.
When I met Shane 46 minutes ago was the first time I met Shane. You guys all met him or talked to him. I have no idea. I was like, okay, Shane. Hey, buddy.
Oh, looks like somebody have a sale.
Yeah, I swear I had a sale. It won't. Come on. Oh, my camera's not on auto. Hang on, because y'all aren't going to believe me.
Of course we won't.
Must be a big
No. It's not a good sale. It's just y'all don't believe me in general.
Is it a Playboy mug?
All it is a baseball. No. Although I am selling. Shane gave me one T-shirt and this mug. I'm keeping that. The rest of the stuff he sent me is going up for sale.
I saw that. The Kiss things, right? Are you selling the Kiss ones and keeping that weird one? The 1990 something or 1980 something.
Is that the VHS one? I like that one.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't drop ship any of those for you, Lonnie.
But no, I sold a Rawlings Ozzie Smith 12-inch vintage right-hand thrower glove. So drink up. $19.19. Yuck. But I paid like $2 for it. So
Cheers.
Nice.
cheers.
1919. Did you set that as a buy it now price?
I put a bunch of stuff on sale today. I
Okay.
was on Instagram and I saw all these people running Labor Day sales. I'm like, well, guess Lonnie will run a friggin' Labor Day sale. And it went.
That's. I started one yesterday as well. I was like, you know what? All these people are going to be home on Monday and what have you. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to run a 3-day weekend sale. You know, I figured might as well. I mean, I just put everything up for like 10% because I'm still doing all the promoted listings, and I figured that way it'll still keep me under that 20% mark. You know, I mean, if for some items, you know, I mean, I would run a 20% on. So, are you still doing that, Lonnie? You still doing the promoted listings?
Yeah, I've got like. Let me check real quick. Go ahead and talk about it for a second. I'll tell you what I got.
Yeah, I've been. I mean, I don't know. Are the rest of you guys all doing the promoted listings? Have you guys started experimenting with that at all? How's that working out for you guys?
I'm doing it too.
Yet.
Good, yeah.
I'm doing it as well.
I've been using the coupon they send you as well for every quarter, top rated sellers.
Now, do they just do they automatically just?
It's automatic.
It's automatic. Okay, good. Because I was kind of curious how that worked.
It's $30. $30.
If you click, but
Right.
the thing is, it's automatic, but you may pay on the current month's invoice. The next month they'll apply the coupon, so
Okay.
it's not like instant automatic. Okay.
Uh,
They explain it.
Yeah, because
they
I
explain it
just got
in
it.
the back.
Awesome. Hey,
So
and
I just looked at mine, and $95.98 in sales, and on a total of 3 sales. But I've had like 5,000 impressions, and
Nice.
I don't have as
Yeah.
many as you guys have. I only have like almost 200 items now. So
still good though.
that is good,
I've got
man.
mine pulled up. Let's see. I've got 68,000 something impressions, 1,001 clicks, 18 sold for $434. So the stuff isn't high dollar stuff. It's probably like 20 something average, you know.
yeah,
I've got 5 sales, $175.
nice.
When did you start
Yeah,
yours,
mine's-
John?
I started mine August 27th. So I guess a week ago.
That's when I started mine too. I
Hey,
think it must have listened to the
big
same video or something.
campaign buds. Cheers,
Hey,
Dwayne.
cheers, buddy.
I got 3 sold with over 3,500 impressions, but I started mine August 10th, and I haven't ran any promoted listings for like a week to 2
What
weeks.
percentage are you setting yours at, Shane?
All over the place. It really depends on which ones I set it at. Sometimes if it's a lower dollar item, I'll set it at like 5 to 10%. I had a bunch of like scope covers there for Gander Mountain, and I set them at like 10% and sold out in like 3 days. And I had like 3 to 4 a piece. So it was like 4 to 6 sales back in like the very middle, like kind of mid-August, and then I dwindled off the promoted listings and started doing it again. And some other ones I've set at like 15 to 20. And I think the max is 20.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
That's crazy.
So
I just did 5% across the board for me.
how did you determine the 15 to 20? Like, were there a lot of other people in that category that were doing promoted listings, so you wanted to float over them? Is that what the idea was?
Yeah,
Okay.
so a couple of them was a polo shirt I just sold a while back ago, and there was over like, I mean, it was like 4,000 or 5,000 listings and just a polo shirt, maybe even more. It was tons. I sold mine in less than a week, and I sold it for $11, but the charge on it was like $2. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
Yeah, the clothing is pretty much, that's where it trends, is right about 9%. Sometimes just a little bit higher for the clothing. So as long as you just figure about $2, I mean, because most of my clothes usually are in that $20 to $30 range. So yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that, and that's why I price that stuff just a little bit higher, you know. But yeah, I'm just sitting here looking at mine, and what I have. Let's take it and see where I'm at with my stuff. Yeah, I've got 102,000 impressions with over 1,000 clicks and 12 solds for $318. So I've only had to pay $22.48 for that. So I mean, I think that's awesome. Somebody did. I mean, I'm happy with $20 to you know what I'm saying, to make 300 and basically $20.
But here's the deal, though, right? And you know, a lot of people are saying, I can agree with it, is that if we all do it, then the new baseline would become everybody pays the 5% or whatever. But realistically, everybody's not going to do it.
No.
You know,
Right.
Or at least not for now.
Right. So I mean, I'm going to exploit it as long as I can. You know what I'm saying? If it helps give me that little bit of an edge, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, we're not on a team. It's every man selling for man or woman selling for themselves, right? So,
well, I mean,
what about you, Tonya? You do it?
I haven't tried it yet. I haven't.
Get on board. What's going on?
I've done promoted listings on Amazon, but I've never tried it on eBay yet.
Are you?
I think it's really different for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't need to sell the stuff that quick, and you're okay with sitting on it, then maybe it's not a big deal. It's kind of the same with like the offers. If you're wanting to move it quick and you need to flip it fast, then yeah, offers are great, but otherwise maybe not. I got to read a comment though. Pete, the Craigslist hunter, says, I can't do promoted listings because I don't have a store. So that's a good point, guys. If you're selling on eBay and you don't have a store, you cannot do the promoted listings.
Right. And I figured I'll use the promoted listings up to their $30 or whatever, because that doesn't cost me anything. Right. So I might as well use that when I can.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't sell, it doesn't cost you. So,
Exactly.
And if they don't click on it, on it in a promoted listing panel, it doesn't cost you either.
Right. Exactly.
Well, and I think once you run so many impressions of your ads and people aren't buying your stuff, they stop running so many impressions. They're not going to keep on running your ad if it's not producing results for them and for you, you know? So I put mine on the, what is that called? I did 5% at first, but then I bumped it up to the trending rate. And like you said, Andy, on the clothing stuff, a lot of it was like 9%. On some other categories, it was still 5% though.
Yeah, the majority of the other stuff is right around 5%. But yeah, I mean, clothing tends to be a little bit higher. And you know, the other day we were trying to figure out how to find what exactly sold. You know, because it really doesn't give you. I did when I did one of my last videos, and I'm sorry, but I can't remember who it was. They said that if you go over to like where you're running your campaigns, and you have that little drop down that says Actions, Edit Campaign, Download Report. If you hit Download Report, that'll download I believe it's a CSV file, and then you can see what item. Yeah, I know I hate the CSV files.
I hate
that. But it'll at least that will tell you what specific item sold. You know, because like I said, we were trying because I mean, I would like to know actually what specific items sold, not just that, hey, I sold 10 items. I want to know what 10 items sold.
Yeah.
Like, how could you not know? Isn't it?
Well, okay.
You don't know? See, it's confusing. That's why I haven't done it.
Okay, so like for me right now, I have 505 promoted listings running. Okay, all it does is it just says it just shows that you had a sold. It doesn't give you any more information than that. So you have no idea which one of your 505 items sold unless you take and download that CSV file. But that's just something.
But when you
am I missing
but when
something?
you ship it, you figure it out, right?
Aren't you going to ship
no,
it?
see, yeah, you're going to ship, but what if you had 5 sales that day?
Oh, like how it sold, if it was from promoted listings or not. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Tonya, you might sell 5 things. You may sell 5 things in one day, and you have one promoted listing sell, but you don't know which one of those 5 things it was.
Okay.
You know?
What if you looked in your monthly breakdown of how eBay charged you?
It's
and
probably
just took the item number.
It's probably there somewhere.
That's a good point.
That's a mishmash, dude.
Yeah, it would be a pain.
That thing's hard to read, that statement.
It's hard to get to.
It is. And the CSV files, they can keep that, dude. I don't like those.
Yeah. Now,
Is it just
can you import a CSV file though into like Google Sheets or anything like that, or do you got to download a specific CSV viewer? Oh, okay.
That'd be nice.
No,
I use GoDaddy bookkeeping. It's awesome, and it just sits there and it classifies everything for you. PayPal fees, eBay fees, shipping, everything.
Really?
Automatically. You just link it to your eBay.
That's nice.
Yeah, I got to. And then that's like a monthly fee, correct?
Yeah, but I paid for the year. I had a coupon online, and I think I paid like $85 for the year.
That's not too bad.
No.
I mean, it's tax deductible, so.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's something I got to maybe definitely look into is get my bookkeeping a little more streamlined. I hate doing all this manual stuff.
All right, guys, I just found a quick way to figure out which items sold through promoted listings.
What?
All right, so you click on My eBay, and then you click on Selling, and then you go to Account, and then click on the Fees tab, and then when you scroll down a little bit, you click on Fees, and it's going to show you here. In fact, I'll just do a quick screen share for you guys. Let me pull this window out. Hold on. Okay.
It's right there below the balance, right? The balance that you owe.
Yeah. So you scroll down, account activity, and then here it is, transaction type, and here it is, add fee. All right. This Garmin I sold through an ad. And the way I got to this is I just did my eBay, and then I did selling, and then I went to my fees.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, I went to account. So my eBay, go to selling, click on account, and then you scroll down, click on your fees, and then that's how you find it by clicking on that fees tab.
Great.
I got it. Yeah, I got it pulled up now.
That's wrong. That's way easier.
Yeah.
I made some assumptions that were wrong about what was actually selling. So, okay.
See, and that was the same thing I was doing, and I was like, man, I need to find out what is actually selling.
And it's not as hard as as I thought.
No, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. You can even probably save it as a tab or something, or as a favorite, and then click on it every once in a while when you want to see what's sold.
Sure. Now everybody's busy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Computer. Dead silence here, and everybody, all our viewers are going, "God, what the hell, man?"
I'm just surprised because I thought it was other stuff, and it's actually like jeans, binoculars, just all kind of random shit. I thought it was just like one item type, and it's not. It's all over the board. So
that's good, though.
Good, which is a good thing. Yeah.
I want to poll the audience. So we've been talking about time management and balancing and everything. Everybody watching, is let us know in the chat what tips and tricks you guys might have to better manage time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
65 people. Everybody's going to have something a little different, and you never know when that one little thing will, make a huge difference in somebody else's business.
Absolutely.
I'll check that later. Let's see if it's. All right. Yeah. Does anyone else got any questions? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, this is totally off topic, but I heard Florida's getting ready to get hit with a big hurricane too. Is that true?
Oh, wow.
Pretty far away.
Yeah,
is it Irma or somebody else?
I don't know what part. I think the Atlantic.
5.
Jeez.
What did y'all say? What did y'all say?
I said it could be like a Category 5, which would be like the biggest hurricane in almost the history of the United States.
What's the name of it, Shane?
Irma?
Is it Irma? Yeah.
It's an old. They said they named it Irma because it was an old German name, and it was it had to do with like powerful.
Oh, wow.
You know, that's the job to have right there. You know, some guy sitting in an office naming hurricanes, right?
Yeah.
No kidding.
That's crazy. Awesome.
Barb says it's coming her way. When is it supposed to hit? I mean, is it like a week out or further out than that? I don't even know.
I'm not sure. I read an article about
It's
it
at
today.
least it's like 5 days or something, I think.
5 days out.
It's
It's
a while.
still way the heck out there. And things could change, dude. Predicting Florida is, it's not for sure, you know.
Which coast
Not
is
for
it on?
sure.
Is it on the, you know, the Gulf Coast or the other coast that it's coming up? Does anybody know? I'm just curious.
The article I read
It's-
said it formed in, over by Africa is where it formed.
Wow.
Yeah, they're saying in the chat 5 days. If you look at the track, it's like way out east, and it looks like it's going to pretty much go hit all the islands, hit Cuba, and then go into Florida is what they're kind of predicting right now.
So they really don't even know yet if it's going to hit Florida. I must
No,
have been here. So yeah, it could move. They don't know.
no,
They said
they
it
don't know if
could-
it's going to rain tomorrow. You know?
They said it could turn into a Category 6, which would be
Oh, my
Uh,
God.
yeah,
that
never.
doesn't exist.
Yeah, I was going
Is
to
that
say,
a
I've never
thing?
heard of that.
Yeah. No. The article I read said Category 6 question mark, and they said right now it's almost at a Category 5, and it's been like the biggest building hurricane. It like built the fastest in almost like the entire history. I think there was like one other one that built that fast, and it was like a long like 1940s or something like that.
Jeez.
But there is no 6, right? That was just like a clickbait kind of thing.
Yeah,
There's no such
clickbait.
thing as this.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a 6, right?
I don't
Yeah.
think so. No, I don't think so. It was like to catch your eye, and you
Yeah.
click on it and you read the article.
Classic clickbait. So to get back to, sorry, I just derailed everything. I realize that.
Oh, that's good.
Get back to the topic a little bit. I'm curious. So pretty much everybody on this panel, I think, garage sales or hits thrift stores. What strategies do you guys use when you're sourcing to manage your time better?
Yeah, if I
Okay.
go into a store, I would literally say if I walk in at 1, I'd be like, okay, well, I need to be out of the store by 1:30 at the latest.
So you time yourself. Okay.
Not always, but when the kids are home, I do. Yeah.
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 So then I'm guessing you probably go straight to the jewelry and then
I
know,
always hit the jewelry first. It's right there.
prioritize what
Yeah.
you want to do. And then if something's there's not enough time for, then you don't mess with it.
Right. Clothes are always last for me. Clothes and
She
shoes are always
probably
last.
spends,
It's always-
Out of her 30 minutes, what, you got 25 at the jewelry counter?
right. So jewelry, then I usually head to the books, and then it's, clothes from there, whatever else.
Yeah.
For me,
I've heard it.
Nice.
Oh, go ahead.
I just want to say, for me, like I am a little lackadaisical the rest of the week. May or may not get shit done, but when I'm garage sailing, that is serious business. So like
Right?
like that is when time is absolutely of the essence, and you can't make it up the rest of the week. That's like the only time.
Go time.
Like
He puts his game
those,
face on.
those 2 hours or so. That's that time where you're going to get the best stuff. So the night before, I plan my route completely out. I do it old fashioned. I actually write my stuff down. I put it all into Google Earth. I map it out. I know exactly where I'm going to be in what order, and I know about how much time it's going to take. These kids today are using like a yard sale treasure hunter map app thing. I don't know what that
Hey, I use that.
I do too.
All these kids nowadays, God damn it.
I'm back there. I tried it. It's just not my thing. But yeah, I get prepared the night before because I take that time extremely seriously, and I don't want to waste any time in the morning. And I make sure I have gas in the car. I make sure I have cash in my wallet. I'm not screwing around getting a biscuit or anything until like after 9 or 9:30.
Yeah,
I don't
9:30,
even
10
think about
o'clock.
it. Yeah.
Do you run? Like when you get out of your cars, do you run to the house and then run back to your car?
I power walk.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Power garage sailing.
That's funny you say that, John, because in my area there's a guy, he lives next town over from me. He's a big gamer. He hits all the garage sales like 2 hours early. He will literally go knock on their door because like he knows they have video games and stuff like that. And that guy, I've been to like citywide sales and stuff like that, and I'll run into him. And he'll have his girlfriend drive the vehicle. He sits on the passenger side. He runs to the house, like up to the place, and then he runs back. And it's a speed thing though. But that's how he can hit as many as he can in a real short amount of time. So he's not driving. He's not doing anything.
Right.
It's hilarious. I mean, it is. It's absolutely funny to watch this guy. But, when I see his vehicle, I'm like, oh, crap, he's out. So it's like, well, there won't be any games today. I mean, but, I don't focus on just that. But
we have somebody in my area that looks for just musical instruments. I've seen him before, and he is always in a hurry. And that's the first thing he asks whenever he walks up, unless he just sees it. He wants to know if there are any musical instruments.
The running picker. That's funny. That's hilarious. We actually call the guy. Me and my one buddy. He's a big video game collector and stuff like that. He goes with me a lot. We actually call the guy Dog Goggles. He has this. There's a story behind it. So anyway, this guy has this great big, like it must be like a Malamute or something. The dog's beautiful. It's just great big white dog, and the dog's usually always hanging out the back. Like he has this Jeep, and so like the back door is usually, the windows usually roll down, and the dog's always got its head out, and the dog literally has like those like motorcycle riding goggles.
Really?
And so the dog's always. I swear to God, I have to take a picture of it one of these times when I'm out. But yeah, so I have no idea what the guy's name is or anything like that. But yeah, that's what we call him. We just call him Dog Goggles because he's just got this dog that.
That's so cute.
That's funny,
that he
man.
takes the time to put goggles on his dog.
I'll have to get a picture of it because I see him pretty often. I'll have to get a picture of it and I'll share it with you guys.
That sounds like the kind of guy that needs to start a YouTube channel. I feel like it's very entertaining.
It reminds me of like Little Rascals.
Oh yeah, they put goggles on the dog.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Okay, so there's a few questions from the chat here. Diesel Engine Freak says, question for Rise and Grind Picker. You mentioned GoDaddy bookkeeping. Please tell us more.
All right. So GoDaddy bookkeeping, like my goal is like try to avoid tax questions, but GoDaddy bookkeeping is phenomenal and it saved me tons of hours because I'm going to tell you, like I was adamant about not doing bookkeeping. I was behind 6 months in tracking anything because I didn't want to do it. So I went on, I was researching some stuff. GoDaddy is a company that is formerly Intuit, which was company name is Intuit. And basically you can buy a subscription and you can pay the whole year and it will sync automatically to your Amazon FBA, Etsy, eBay, and you can also link credit cards to it and it will automatically classify and upload so like I bought mine and I was already 6 months behind and it uploaded all 6 months of that tax stuff automatically for me through eBay. So all my shipping, all my eBay fees, all my PayPal fees, everything automatically in 20 minutes uploaded and categorized already.
It's awesome.
Nice.
That's amazing because I'm like 3 weeks behind right now. I mean, I have like nothing done for August. I have like 1 week done for August, and I got a lot to get caught up on. So that sounds awesome, Shane.
I hadn't done anything since like February, and this was like last month.
That's crazy.
And you can you can also manually add stuff on there. So you can manually add anything you want, any kind of expenses, and you can just manually add them on.
I figured that must be the case because I see Steven Stuff Resale Killers saying that they use GoDaddy, and most of their sales are in person, so there's no way to automate that.
Yep.
So they must be
No.
having it manual.
That's awesome.
So, Shane, I
So,
heard you say you got a GoPro. Have you started using that yet, or how do you plan on using that for your videos?
Not yet. I just bought the mini SD card for it. I got a GoPro Hero 4 Silver. It took forever to get with the guy. It was on Let Go, and I lowballed him hardcore. So I got it for $130, and it came with a $70. Actually, I got it right here. I got a GoPro. It's a GoPro Hero 4 Silver, and it came with this mount is like a $70 mount.
That's
So
What does
I
it
got
mount to?
yeah, so it's a pin, and you just unscrew the pin, and then the camera just pops out of these little kind of groove thingies.
Okay.
So it's pretty nice. But then I got a extreme SD card because this actually records in 4K, and I didn't know that. And it records in 1080p everything. So what I plan on doing with it is really filming some thrift store content of kind of like what I do at a thrift store and the type of clothing I pick up, the type of clothing I look for, just because for me, clothing is like one of those things that I would say at least half of the resellers just walk right by and pass up because they don't want to mess with measuring it and stuff like that.
Right here. That's me.
Yeah. And the measurements are super easy. Like I went on YouTube and watched videos on how to measure clothing. That's literally how I did it.
Nice.
Yeah, I actually tried to tell John the other day how to measure jeans at least. I said,
Outseam
dude,
and inseam.
I don't do the outseam. I said, look, dude, I do 3 measurements. I do waist, I do the inseam, and I do the rise, and that's it.
Mhm.
That's all I do too.
That's all I would
See,
do too.
I do the outseam and the cuffs as well. I do 5 measurements on jeans.
Well,
Well,
it
like
depends
the
if you're selling men's versus women's, because women will want,
Well,
you know, they
right.
have different size, you know, they want different measurements. Guys, man, if the waist is right and the inseam's right, they don't care about nothing else.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so wait. When you say you
That's why
measure
I
the,
stay away from measure. That's why I stay away from women's jeans because they're way too curvy, man.
when you measure the cuff, though, you just measuring the width of the cuff. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. A lot of times, like it's 11-inch cuff, 22 inches doubled. That's sometimes I'll put it like that. You know what I'm saying? It just depends.
That's
But
That's to see if it's a boot cut or a flare cut or a straight cut.
exactly.
But just like on t-shirts, I measure shoulder to shoulder, armpit to armpit, and top of the collar to bottom hem. That's all I measure on a t-shirt. That's
See, and
it.
I do across the chest, length, and then sleeve length.
Across the chest is pit to pit, right?
Yeah, it's pit to pit. Yeah.
Yeah, so pit to pit, total length, and then length of sleeve.
Which if you buy a women's shirt, you measure the bust, which is basically the armpit to armpit. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much right now.
Are you taking notes, John?
I should be, definitely.
He doesn't want to do clothes, probably.
Right. No, I've done a little bit. I just found a Carhartt 4XL, like a really nice twill shirt with tags at a sale the other day for like $3. And I was like, I can't pass this up because I know Carhartt's a good brand, and Andy's always talking about the big sizes.
I mean, that'd be
Shane,
it's easy, probably a $40 shirt.
Yeah. So yeah, for $3, I was like, I need to do a little bit more of it. I don't want to dive right into it, but I feel like I need to at least acknowledge the opportunities when I see them, and because before I did walk right past this stuff, and I need to actually take the extra 30 seconds and scan through the clothes really quick, see if I recognize a brand, and go for it.
Right.
Shane, I'm still curious about this GoPro, man. Okay, so you talk about the thrift store footage. Do you have a plan yet of like how you want to do it? Are you gonna like put the chest strap on, or just kind of hold it as you walk through? Because I know some of the thrift stores are kind of weird about filming.
Mm-hmm.
So my main plan is to kind of hold it as I walk through, but if you take it off this mount, it is super concealable. Like you can just like literally, I mean, it's like palm size.
Cute and little.
Yeah, it's like, and it has a screen on the back that you can see everything.
I want
So
one.
you just palmed it, and then you can actually watch the screen through your hand. they would almost never notice it. It's way smaller than a cell phone. Like literally, here's my cell phone.
Yeah, but a cell phone you can say, "Oh, I'm texting somebody, or I'm doing whatever." That thing's a friggin' camera, dude. I would spot that.
That's true.
Right. And a lot of people though that work at like my goal, like what I plan on doing is like filming a little bit before I go inside, turning it off, waiting till I get back to the clothing racks, and then turning it on, but not walking in with it like this.
Yeah, I wouldn't walk in the
That's probably smart.
Yeah.
You know what you might be able to do is somehow mount it to the cart. And once you get to the clothing racks, they probably can't even see your cart. And then you're just pushing it along, and it's kind of catching everything you're doing. That way you're not holding it and trying to shop at the same time.
That's a super good idea. Like I literally am going to look into that. That's a really good idea, John.
So Rhonda's saying in the chat, Junk in Our Trunk, that Rowley Roots did a video using a GoPro inside a fanny pack. And oh my goodness, I watched that video. It was really good. Like they were going to garage sales and it picked up everything.
Really?
Yeah.
The question is, do you want to turn in your man card to wear a fanny pack to get the footage?
No, it was a very manly, like army green colored. It was
there's no manly fanny packs.
No manly fanny pack.
It wasn't a fanny pack.
It was kind of like a and then he had like a bunch of like pins and other stuff like kind of on there, so it just kind of blended right in. You didn't
even totally blended in. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Sounds like a Girl
inside
Scout
my shirt and like cut a hole in my shirt and walk into the store.
A bandolier.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think it's one of those things like you got to know like Ryan Russo and he could totally pull that off though. I mean, he's just got that personality. He could pull something like that off. Maybe, you and I, we might have a little more difficult time doing that.
I would look guilty. I would be like this fat middle-aged guy that looks like up to something. Like, hey, watch that guy. He's up to something.
Yeah, King got that furtive look on. Like,
it's a satchel.
Somebody watching me?
We're not all jacked with tattoos like Ryan is. We can't pull that shit off.
But yeah, definitely. That's funny. But yeah, there's so many options with that GoPro though. I mean, they have so many different mounts and accessories and stuff like that. I mean, you could totally affix it to all kinds of stuff.
Or how about Pete? How about Craigslist Hunter? He wears like the freaking chest mount.
He does.
Walks on up,
Yeah. And they even make smaller like mounts to where you can like the handles are like literally like this big, like half, like way less than half the size of this. So you could really put it in your hand and almost hide the whole mount and just have the camera exposed. But if you keep it low enough, like I don't think they're gonna see it.
I think it's all about like just like anything else, you just have to act like you know what you're doing, act like you're supposed to be doing what you're doing. Yeah. If you look guilty and
absolutely. Absolutely. Just look like you're supposed to be there.
And know your story. Like I've learned that when people ask me what I'm doing at yard sales or what it is. Oh, I'm a reseller. I've got an auction website. You're excited about it. You're telling them about it. Like you're on your game. You know what you're going to say. And you don't stutter. And I feel like if they see you and they say, oh, I have a YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm going to feature your store. Boom. Leave me alone.
Free advertising.
Yeah. If I'm filming with my phone, I could be doing anything. I could be taking a video. I could be FaceTiming with my daughter. I could be using my magnifying glass on my phone. I mean,
yeah, but you chicken out. I watch your videos.
I am so going to record more from now on.
Because she
gets out of the car and then all of a sudden she's back in the car.
You hear voices or you see somebody look at her, and I'm like, oh, she's about to put it up, and she does.
I am gonna totally film more this weekend. You watch.
I'm waiting.
I mean, has anyone ever actually like thought about just asking like a manager or whatever at their stores, like, hey, would you guys have a problem if I shot some video footage in here? I mean, like look at like guys like Paul Can too. I mean, that guy shoots I mean, and he just like owns it wherever you know what I mean. He's at. I mean, doesn't even no F's given at all. I mean, just you know what I'm saying. I mean, if you guys have ever watched his channel, I mean, that's he's totally awesome. So I mean, I'm sure he has some arrangement with whatever facility, whatever thrift or wherever it is he goes, because man, that dude does some crazy stuff.
Goodwill does not like you filming in their stores, at least not the ones down here in our area. Not at all. And I don't mean to change the subjects, but I want some advice. So, like, whenever I'm recording these garage sales that I don't follow through with, Lonnie, normally a person carries a phone like this, right? So when I'm walking up to these garage sales, I'm like this, holding it like landscape. So it's even more noticeable, right? So if I'm just holding it like this, they wouldn't notice, but like this, right? Like, what are you doing? Why are you holding your phone like that, pointing it towards me?
So I do it a little bit, Tonya, not a lot. I don't do it when I walk up, but like once I'm in the garage, if they're distracted with somebody else, I'll try to get 10 seconds of what's going on and the stuff I see, and they don't even notice it. That's how I do it.
Yeah, I'm going to get some footage of me like this, Lonnie. I'll be like, hey, look, I got the garage sale.
But that's kind of my game plan, is to walk up kind of with it, and then after I go in the store, not film, and then once I get in, film, because a lot of like my Goodwills have these like really young teenagers or in high school putting away stuff, and they're not going to care. They're not going to say anything.
Yeah. You got to report back to us on how it goes.
I definitely will. Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of nervous about it, but
you just got to do it. You just got to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I always tell myself, if you don't like the footage, you don't have to upload it, right? You don't even have to include it in your video if you don't like the way it looks, or you feel like it looks like you chickened out or something.
It's different. It's different for a woman to do it though, Tonya, because it's not going to creep a dude out if a woman is like, he thinks, hey, that lady might be filming me, you know? But like reverse roles, and I'm like filming some lady.
Right.
Yeah, you're a creep.
That's a whole different story, you know?
Creeper status.
I'm getting tackled on the way out of this joint, you know? You're not.
That would be an excellent video.
I feel like a guy when he sees a woman filming, he's like, hold on, let me flex really quick. That look good.
Steven Steph Resale Killer said, why does it have to be secretive? Own it.
You mean the actual filming part? Or
I believe so. Yeah, I think they're talking about the filming portion.
Well, like I said, I know that the Goodwill's, and usually Goodwill's the only one I mainly go to, but they don't allow it. They will say something.
You know, though, pretty much anymore with the way just society is and stuff like that in general. I mean, I don't think a person realizes how much they're being filmed or on camera anyway. You know, I mean, at any given time, I mean, you get their eyes on you all the time.
Big brother, buddy.
Exactly.
Big brother.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know, are the Goodwills in your area? I know, like mine, they have cameras now all over in my local Goodwill. That's something they've just recently started putting up. I don't know if they're doing that in yours. So I mean, they're watching us. So
yeah, they're doing that in mine as well. But the funny thing is like in one of my Goodwills, I know most of the employees, like they know what I do. And so when I come in, they're like, oh, there's some really good stuff on this rack. You know, so I don't think they would say nothing. But if I went to like the Goodwill in Champaign, which is the opposite direction, 30 minutes, but it's a way different culture. Like they look at me like they kind of know what I do. Like they don't know it, but they don't like it. And I think a lot of resellers in general, like Goodwill kind of gives them a bad rap sometimes.
I know my local Goodwill is actually, I mean, they know who all the resellers are. They said actually it's about 65 to 70% of their customers are resellers. I mean, that they do, you know, and they said there's some guys that come in there 2 and 3 times a day. And I'm like, God, yeah. I feel guilty if I go every, you know, I mean, if I actually go like, you know, especially in the wintertime, I might hit it way more often because, you know, there's no garage sales and nothing like that. So, I mean, you know, if I get off work a little early or whatever, yeah, I mean, I might hit it 4 or 5, but I was like, you know, I was talking with one of the gals one day, and that's what she was saying. She goes, oh, no. She goes, we have some guys that come in here sometimes 3 and 4 times a day because she goes, we put stuff out every hour.
Yeah, same
and
here.
I'm like, wow. I go, that's crazy. She goes, yeah. She goes, we know who all the resellers are. And that's just one of the things. Yeah, if you own it, they know. So
yeah, I'm there every day. Every day. And I have a friend, he actually goes back, like you said, he'll go twice a day. He goes, first thing in the morning, and then he'll also go back again in the afternoon. And he's told me he's found stuff in the afternoon when he didn't find anything that morning.
Wow.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of times I find a lot of my best stuff will be like when I walk in, because they're just bringing out like carts or the new racks. I'll find a lot of my stuff right on those racks right when I'm just walking in.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to walk up to the carts when they're coming out. I always politely ask, do you mind if I go through and see what's in here? And I mean, like 95% of the time they say, no, go right ahead. But I just ask so to let them know that I know that they have the power. People like that, right? It's so funny. Bonafide said that one time, and it's so true. If you let somebody know that they have the power, it kind of like boosts their ego, and they're like, yeah, sure, you can do that.
Yeah.
So.
Go ahead, Shane.
So in like the Goodwill in Bloomington, which is a lot closer to Andy, they're super cool. But see, the Goodwill in Champaign, where I go, is a boutique store. So they have boutique items. So they're more like a big box retail store. They don't like resellers. They don't like the fact of resellers. But if you go to the 30 minutes in the opposite direction, they'll tell you their whole process on Goodwill Online. They'll tell you their whole process on everything.
That's crazy. Now, are they different regions, Shane? Because a lot of times, like different regions, see, and that's the difference too. Is the different regions? They all run their operations completely different. Awesome.
All right, guys, we've been going for about an hour and a half, so I think we might have to wrap this one up.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. All right. I'll go through the panel here real quick. Any parting words, Tonya?
Oh.
Yeah, caught you off guard.
Let's see. Catch the Resellers Stew on Peaching Pesos channel on Tuesdays at noon. And this Wednesday at 11 a.m., I'm going to be doing a show with Tim and Jen, the Pudgy Picker. And we're going to be talking about antique booths. So come and join us for that.
Awesome. Shane, any parting words for you, buddy?
Yeah, I just want to appreciate, everybody on here for having me on tonight. And, I appreciate you and big thanks to everybody. Why I got into YouTube is because of watching the people on YouTube. And that's how I got on it. I mean, I remember watching Lonnie, and when I didn't even have a YouTube channel, I was like, what's reselling again? Like, how do I do this? So, that's a big thing is like, I just want to appreciate you for having me on, and I've had lots of fun. It's been a great time. So
awesome.
It's been awesome having you, dude.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Shane. Lonnie, how about you?
I don't have anything wise to say, but I will say to, make sure you guys, sub to Shane. The link is down below, I think. Sub to anybody on the panel, and to look. Did we make it to 1,000?
No, we're at 991.
Oh,
991.
We're close.
We'll make it on the playbacks after we share. We're at 991. So
awesome.
But yeah, thanks for hosting, Andy. I appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is my first time, so we had to knock the dust off anyway, and hopefully things are getting a little more under control now. We've just had a lot going on this summer and what have you. So, Dwayne, drop some knowledge on us. You got any parting words for us, buddy?
I got no knowledge, man. I am completely knowledge-proof. But I did want to ask, it was asked in the chat, whose channel is it on next, Lonnie?
Good question. So that should be, is it John?
Dude, I can't keep track at this point, man.
Sounds good to me.
No, I think, didn't it go my channel, and then it went Chad, and then it went Andy, but before it would go my channel, and then John, and then Tonya? Isn't that how it was before?
Dude, are you serious? We're like an hour and a half into drinking, and you're coming up with this shit?
Let's go with the John.
No. I think it goes John and then Tonya, I believe. I think that's the order.
Yeah, that works. We'll do it on my channel next week.
He's waiting for a man to confirm this. I've said it like 3 times, and he's not even saying anything.
Oh, Lonnie.
Oh my gosh. Wait a second.
That's awesome. All right, Johnny.
I take your confirmation. It'll be on my channel next week. We'll do the show on my channel.
Cool. All right, Johnny, parting words for us before we get on out of here.
I do have some parting words. I'm a big believer in throwing out some challenges. So there are currently 60 people watching this, okay? I want all of you, as soon as the stream is over, comment on this video. Tell us how you are going to do a better job of managing your time to improve your business.
Wow, look at that.
Great. Now you're going to blow up my YouTube feed. Great.
Let me interrupt.
That's a good challenge.
Real quick. Did you put a link to this Reseller Six Pack Facebook group? Because Deb's Treasure said you guys need to send out schedules, and the Reseller Six Pack.
I believe so.
Group.
I believe it's in the channel description. I believe, or not the channel, but the right underneath the video. Just double check. But
The Reseller Six Pack Facebook group. Barry is in the chat saying abort, Lonnie. I already punched out of that plane. I promise you. But no, Deb, go check out the Reseller Six Pack Facebook group. It'll tell you where the show is going to be.
Yeah, definitely. There you go. It looks like Glenn just put a link to it in the chat.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks, Glenn. I want to give a shout out to Glenn for monitoring the chat and stuff like that, keeping all the bad people at bay. It's not too crazy on here yet, but you never know when you're going to have a rowdy come in here or what have you. So definitely appreciate Glenn for
he's
monitoring. Yeah, he's really good at monitoring all that stuff. All right.
Some of the trolls.
Yeah. We don't. I don't have too many haters, but I got a couple of them. So yeah, last night was nuts on Dwayne's channel. So
Trolls were crazy,
They
and they
all
kept
had
coming back
soda
so
icons.
quick.
Mm-hmm.
all right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. Sound pretty good.
Yep, let's go, man.
All right. That's gonna do it. That's our time. Thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, fins up. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Peace.